I think this gathering has gone really fast. I can't believe it's almost over.
It has, I agree.
I guess that means it was successful. We all were engaged.
And we all came back.
John, I'm so happy to see you here. I wasn't sure.
You mean he wasn't the first to register?
No, he broke his record this year.
It's because we already gave him the award. Once you give him the award, he's like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Darn.
Just I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to survive so many hours of Zooming after all the Zooming we've all been involved in for the last several months. As I've said to several other people, when this is all over, if I never have to do another Zoom meeting in my life, it's okay with me.
Yeah, zooming around used to be a fun verb.
Yeah. And besides, I'm retiring in May, so.
Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you.
But this is your fun hobby, right? You'll still be doing this for fun.
Zooming? I don't think so.
Okay, maybe the in-person meetings when those happen again.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going anywhere. It's not like I'm disappearing, but I will be doing lots of other things, I hope.
Wait, I just jumped in late, but John, are you retiring?
I am retiring in May, yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to miss you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You've been a really great part of the network. So good luck. I hope you get to do lots of really fun things. And
yeah, I'm sure
will you be going to Hawaii to visit your family? Hopefully,
well,
once planned.
If they ever get rid of the quarantine so that we can do that, yes, absolutely.
Good. That's exciting. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Lydia, it doesn't sound like Jake's back on yet. I can hear him in the other room.
No, he's lagging. He must have really been in a good conversation.
Should I go poke my head in and say, yo?
No, you can. I'm not gonna.
John, I definitely agree with you about Zooming. I think however long it goes on, if it goes on beyond a certain point, you're going to see me here with like, anytime we have a Zoom meeting, I'm going to have a cocktail in my hand because it's just like, it's tiring, right?
Yes. Well, the couple times that I've had to do evening Zoom meetings, like at 7 o'clock, we're doing most of my work from home anyway, but yes, a glass of wine in one hand does wonders of making things a lot better.
It does, it does.
It's afternoon now.
I don't know, that's a pretty low bar.
This is 2020. Are there bars?
True.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I think Jake will be right away. Pretty soon.
In the meantime, I would just like to, in all honesty, thank you guys so much for coming and participating and making the technical transitions as smooth as possible, because it's a daunting task to set up this many Zoom calls and hope for the best. So I really, really appreciate your forgiveness and grace with all of the details. It's been a fun time.
You did a great job, Lydia. There was so many details, so many Zoom accounts, and it's just
and
crazy.
No bar at Killington to ease the pain at the end of the day.
I did put a couple questions in the chat. I don't know, Ellen, if you want to look at them, or somebody else in the Farm to Plate team that I wasn't able to answer, not being super, super close to the process of what's going on with the 2.0 plan. But if you want to attempt to answer them, or we could wait for Jake. There were a couple questions.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. I was just saying I have a couple questions that came out of the sessions about the process for the Farm to Plate 2.0 that I put into the chat that I'm sure maybe other people are curious about as well. If you could answer those at some point.
Okay, I don't see them because I think I joined.
I can answer them in the chat, Jake, if you want to. If they're about the brief writing process, I'm happy to type an answer into the chat while you get started.
I see it.
I re-chatted them.
So the first question is based on the feedback from today. Will the briefs already written be adjusted or amended in any way? Sarah's like, oh God, no.
You'll have to look at Becca's response.
We are done with the briefs. Yeah. So they are done, but of course, in writing those briefs, we know that they're a starting place. They're not, they're a point in time. And so these conversations are really critical for us to understand, where things may have moved or, things that are starting to rise as new priorities. So of course, we're always kind of open to change and needing to adapt. And also I would say the strategic plan is we're still drafting that. So there's still things that we're going to be injecting into the kind of the main parts of the strategic plan. So again, the briefs are an appendix of that. And so yeah, all of this feedback, to the extent that we can kind of integrate that in different ways into the plan, can still happen. And then will you be going back to farmers and your voices missed for final input?
Basically, that was like the survey, which my answer to that was that I didn't think we were, but maybe, but that we had so many survey responses that I think we gathered a lot of input in that realm.
Yeah, so I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but yeah, there were a lot of farmers we actually asked if you were a farmer for that survey. So there were a lot of farm participants. But also I mentioned that we have been doing some stakeholder sessions. So we've met with smaller kind of focus groups of different industries, ag industries in Vermont. And so we've gotten very direct farmer input on specific recommendations and other parts of what will be in the plan. So we have gotten a lot of farmer feedback and input through this process. And that's, not to say that we couldn't do more, but yeah, it has been a big part of the writing process and the plan process. Yeah, so that's, we are sort of, this does have a different kind of feel and nature to it as the closing of the gathering. But I'm just really pleased with the level of conversation that's been happening, the level of engagement in this virtual realm. It's really inspiring. It's given me, I know.
Jake, can I interrupt just a second? I just got an email from someone saying that the Zoom meeting is at capacity and they can't get in. I think it's that we must be on account with the 100-person limit. So just FYI.
We are. Lydia just came in. That's who I was talking to. Okay. Unfortunately, we did not think about, we really wanted to have this conversation with everybody, and we have a 100-person limit, and we just didn't think that would happen. So there are people trying to get in. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a workaround. Lydia's working on it, but I don't think there's a workaround.
Okay.
It looks like a few people have dropped off. So that means maybe a few people can join.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I feel it's unfortunate that there are people that can't join, but I don't think we can address that. And yeah, and I would say thank you all for being patient with us, and we are kind of learning how to run this conference in this way for the first time. So these types of mistakes are going to happen, and we may be doing a virtual event next year. So there's things that we can implement the next time around. So we've got a question. Yeah. So actually, I think this is a good time for whether it's questions or just final closing reflections that people have had. And just things that maybe you're hopeful about, things that you're, looking forward to, or feeling our major maybe challenges facing us that you've got a new perspective on, we'll open it up. So we've got some questions broadly. How can we help with advocating for this plan? Well, I mean, I think advocating for the plan broadly is, we'll have a lot of communication going out when it's released. So definitely, that's kind of one component that, more information will be available. I think the briefs themselves are a great way to distribute those to, community groups, to people that are inquiring about what's happening in the food system. You can direct them to a very specific brief or issue that's been covered in those. So they're a great way to, I think, elevate knowledge in the food system and help, groups kind of understand issues that are where they can have an impact. And I think just, and also being a part of the network, is committing to the network for the next 10 years is also a way to be kind of an advocate and be involved. Becca, as Becca was saying, all the briefs should be public in January, including the racial equity brief, which is our final one. Other questions or comments? Major insights?
Jake,
Yes, Teresa.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm really enjoying seeing Lydia and Ellen in the same room.
It's pretty weird to be on Zoom with a mask on, I gotta say.
Well, and Ellen's keeping her safe distance. It's just such a, if you're an artist at all, you just love, that would be odd to put in a chat. So.
Yeah, there's a performance art kind of element to it, right?
I would say if Abby Willard is still on, it'd be great for her to share and follow up to the last question about what the agency is planning to do in the 2021 session related to the plan.
She's not still on it.
Ellen, do you want to provide a little perspective on that?
Sure, I'll just say that, okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'll just say that, so Allison Eastman, who's the Deputy Secretary, and Abby and I met yesterday, and there are 275 recommendations across all of the briefs. And so we were looking for what are the top, say, 10 that the agency wants to try to move forward on in the coming session, because we know that the legislature will be a little bit limited this year because they're going to be probably mostly online. So the ability to have a really robust agenda going into this session is going to be not really possible. So the agency has a placeholder within the governor's policy recommends, and then they're also, and the agency is also looking at their budget to look at what they're going to recommend to the governor from their agency's budget for 2021 and for the fiscal 22 budget. So the agency itself will have some things moving forward that they would be looking for all of us to be supportive of, and all of those things are coming out of these briefs. So what's really terrific is that the agency is really owning this plan as well as all of us. I mean, they are us. So I think you'll see some opportunities in the coming session to support a few things trying to move forward, and we'll keep you posted on that.
I'll leave, the floor is open for a couple more minutes. Could we get 2 or 3 additional perspectives, reflections?
Well, I can say something just as a newbie here, and really trying to recently kind of put in a project into play to help with help with food systems, especially on the local side. This has been extremely insightful and extremely exciting for me to kind of be a part of it and learn. And I think if nothing else, I'm now extremely hopeful. I know that there are, hundreds of challenges and bottlenecks and so many things that are going to continue to come into play that make so much so much of what we have to do extremely challenging. But I am just, again, extremely hopeful because there are so many people here that are doing so many amazing things, and it's really cool and really exciting for me to be a part of it in any way that I can. So just to thank all of you for all the amazing work that you've done. And I really am excited to continue to be a part of this and hope to see you all again in 10 years and keep pushing forward. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's done so much work on all of this.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ryan.
I'll give you a warning, Ryan, as someone who's been around for a little while. You'll be seeing us next week, not in 10 years.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm part of the network.
I should say for the next 10 years, rather. So every week. So I'm sure everyone will be sick of me by the next one. They'll say, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's still here. So yes, absolutely. I look forward to it.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, this network has just been amazing for so many years and continues to be. And I want to thank Cenk and Ellen and Lydia and Sarah and Shane and Kelly and everyone else who just did a fabulous job of not only putting together this 2-day virtual event, which good job with the breaks and the breakout rooms and really mixing it up and the amazing panelists, but also for, for keeping this going for so many years now and moving us forward in such an optimistic and productive way, even during these challenges times. So thank you all. I'm grateful to be part of this.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much, Lisa. And yeah, Sarah posted into the chat, and I think this definitely needs to be said. Thanks, a huge thanks to all the facilitators. People really responded on what was shorter notice this year and did an incredible job. I mean, really fantastic. So thanks to all of you. And yeah, I couldn't kind of appreciate it anymore. It really made this gathering a really great experience for everyone. So there's some people posting some really excellent things into the chat and resources, which is awesome. We'll have some, follow-up communications coming out of today or the past 2 days. So stay tuned for that. And just thank you for making this really worthwhile and bringing the energy and passion and knowledge that you all bring. So just a lot of gratitude. Yeah, so I think that's that's a good way to end. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Have a great weekend, and yeah, as Lisa said, we will see each other again, and probably very shortly. Careful what you wish for. Thanks so much, everyone.